guys, so Ed here at FICM Repair. So I just shot a video just the other day talking about please don't crank on the truck forever trying to get it to start, because another gentleman had posted a video. It was just crank. He's out, there's just still some oil still in the high pressure oil reel. And so I shot a response to that and said, oh my goodness, what are you doing? Did you not watch my video on how to prime the high pressure oil system? And this is not what you do. You pull the FICM's relay, you have a battery charger hooked up, and crank, 15 seconds, 45 seconds off until you see 500 PSI or 0.93 volts, fine, whatever, then you do it. But the batteries recover while you're taking your wife out to dinner, and you come back, crank it another 20 times, another 20 seconds or so, it'll build 500 PSI again, you pop the relay in, and now the truck will fire right up. Perfect. And then, you're not subjecting your FICM to damage that way. And by the way, then you let it warm up and you take it for a drive at 3,000 RPM in like first or second gear for like 5 minutes. And that way, even your start tomorrow morning is not a problem. So that was the synopsis, quick version of that video. But I'm mindful of the fact that some of you, well, I don't know. Do I look 17? I'm thinking I don't. But anyway, so some of you have had some experience and you're kind of set in your ways just a little bit. We all are. It's okay. And you're like, well, I go ahead and I do it this other way. Well, listen, those other ways, they do work, but they put the FICM in harm's way in the process of getting the truck to start. So if you hook up your battery charger and crank on the truck and in 3 to 4 tries it starts, recognize you put your FICM in harm's way for those 3 or 4 tries, and it's needless. You could literally have ignition in half of a second. So why would you take the chance? Other of you might say, well, I take the oil filter housing cover off and I glug. I add 3 to 5 quarts in there and I prime it that way. And I've never had a problem. 3 to 4 tries later, it starts. Other guys have said, well, oh yeah? I've been doing this for a very long time. I'm a Ford Senior Master Tech, lots of experience. And what I do is I pre-fill the oil rails, don't you know? And then I go ahead and I crank it that way. And you're right, 2 to 3, 4 times, and then it starts. Listen, I'm not saying that priming the system with oil ahead of time is bad. I'm not saying that glug down the oil filter is bad. Those are all great things that'll limit the amount of wear and tear you're putting on your starter. Good job out of you. But until you have 500 PSI, that FICM does not have the possibility of letting the truck start, and yet you're asking it to consider starting. This is just like the Mack truck's coming, and you're looking and say, man, I could outrun that thing. I could, I'm fast, man. I could cross that street, and I'll be fine. And you know what? You might be, or you might become a pancake. And I don't want you to become a pancake. So if you become a pancake, I happen to have Ed's ER clinic over here at FICMRepair.com, and we can go ahead and resurrect your butt, even though you just killed your FICM. So we can bring it back from the dead, which is more of an Easter conversation than it is a Christmas conversation, just saying. But at any rate, so we could do that, but I would rather not have to, okay? So why don't we save your trip to the ER? We don't need it. Clear? We don't need that, right? We just don't need that. So save yourself the hurdle, save yourself the hassle, save yourself the issues. There's this crazy guy in Iowa, and I recognize this is like step 1 of the 12-step program. I recognize you got a problem, right? I know I'm strange. I understand I'm quirky. I get it. But at least hopefully you think about the fact that I care, and it's at least my second rodeo, and I'm just trying to help you. So FICMRepair.com, we sell everything, 16 million auto parts, whatever you need, we got you. We Ford, Chevy, and Dodge, all the aftermarket players, we're up for everybody. And I don't want your money unless I need to take it. But let's make sure that we're taking your money on something that needs to be taken and not something that was just avoidable. They call them accidents for a reason. However, recognize that accidents many times are avoidable.